Stocks always catch my attention for one reason or another, and many times they're great opportunities to make money. There's been a buzz in the channel about looking for speculative stocks like crypto, marijuana, and oil. This week, we're going to do something a little special. Let me show you how to make your own individual watch list of any industry you want. All right, so the next story is my stocks of interests, and I did something a little special this week. Okay, every week we do have our I find stocks that catch my attention. Those are my stocks of interest. You can find some great trades in there, or stocks to stay away from in there as well. This week, I'm going to do a little bit of a speculative fix on it because a lot of people have been saying in the room, man, you need to be looking at Bitcoin. Oh, man, you need to be looking at marijuana stocks, or left and right and up and down. This week, I've taken some of what you've been asking me about, but I'm going to put a VectorVest spin on it. I'm going to help you to find the better speculative trades to look at. All right, so one of the things that has been coming to my attention over and over and over, you guys never look at Bitcoin. You guys never look at cryptocurrency. All right, so I found a story about cryptocurrency this week. The Fed discusses research plans on digital currencies. That's big. And what they were using was the Invesco dollar index, but on the bearish side, the UDN. Remember, I just looked at the UUP for gold, so this is going to be a very interesting thing. Fed Governor Lael Brainard gave some updates yesterday on the Fed's ongoing experimentation, key words there, experimentation with the central bank digital currencies. I don't know how many of you knew that was going on, but it's a story. So the central bank, if the central bank is looking at digital currencies, that's kind of interesting. We've been conducting in-house experiments for the last few years. All right, the last few years on this through the means that include the board's technology lab, which has been building and testing a range of distributed ledger platforms to understand their potential, opportunity, and risk. All right, so that was a story that I'm going to take a look at in a second. That's one speculative industry to look at. Next one. How many of you have been in this stock, GRWG? GrowGeneration soars to new highs. Post-earnings, interest stays elevated. So, if any of you follow us on YouTube and you looked at our hot stock panel last week, was it last Monday? Was it last Monday? I think it was. It was last Monday? It was 2 Mondays ago. Steve Chappell picked this stock as one of his picks. And man, did that stock go ballistic. That stock really did take off like an airplane. I don't know how many of you have been in it or not been in it, but man, that stock just keeps rocking and rolling. But it's in a speculative industry, marijuana stocks. We're going to take a look at that. And one more on oil. I continually talk about oil, but oil still is speculative right now because demand is not there. But yet and still, I see stocks go up and say, man, you missed the move on that oil play, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is. Blah, blah, blah. It's still a speculative field. So I've got 3 speculative industries, and I'm going to show you how to do something so that you can make your own individualized watch list on any industry. So let's do this first, and then I'm going to come to the rest of my stocks of interest. But this is a little special just because I like you a little bit. All right, let's go back into the software. All right, and I'm going to do something here. Let's start off with the crypto stocks. I created a new folder for this week called YouTube Trending Thursday Test. Anytime we do any kind of testing, I'm going to use this folder for my watch list. I'm going to create a new watch list. So I have the list, the group highlighted. And let's start off with the cryptocurrencies. All right, I'm going to call this crypto. I'm going to call this live, not lice, live crypto. Man, why do you put all this stuff in front of me, Joey? I can't type on the keyboard. Live crypto. All right, so I've created a watch list. How do I put the stocks that are just in the crypto industry into this watch list? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Joey, did anybody ask that question? They did. All right, Joey's not paying me any attention. So I'm going to go down to our industry viewer. And when you go to the industry viewer is going to show that we have 221 industries in the VectorVest software. This is mainly for my new people who are not subscribers to the software. I'm showing off a little bit of the power behind the software. At any point in time, folks, when I open up the industry viewer, I can see what the fastest moving industry is. We have an RT ranking. All of these industries are sorted by relative timing. All right, so now those people who are on podcast, just to break it down, my top 5 industries as of right now are building residential commercial, building wood products. Number 3 is retail home furnishings. Number 4 is ETF sectors, consumer discretionary. And number 5 is ETF specialty environment. Those are the top 5 industries out of the 221 industries we have in the software right now. But we're looking for a specific industry, all right? Now, keep in mind, we've got 221 industries. I want you to keep that in mind. I'm going to sort the industries by industry to bring them up alphabetically. The first industry will be, I'm sorting alphabetically from Z to A, VectorVest Composites at the bottom. Where would I find my cryptos? It would be under financial. All right, financial crypto stocks. So we've got an industry called financial crypto stocks. Remember I told you we tracked 221 industries? What industry is this industry? 213. Does that not tell you that this is a speculative industry? So you may tell me that, hey, these stocks are moving. You need to take a look at them. The industry is speculative. So you may find a stock within the industry moving. How comfortable are you trying to hold that stock? As a speculative trade, it is a really short-term trade. Now, you're going to tell me a stock is moving and you're going to take it? Well, I'm all for that if you're that kind of investor. So I'm going to right-click on that industry. I'm going to use the right-click functionality to go view the stocks in that industry group. How many stocks we got in there? Well, let's go find out. We've got 11 stocks in that industry, and here they are. I'm going to highlight them all. I'm going to right-click now, and I'm going to build my own watch list. Now, it's all here, but I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to right-click. I'm going to add them to a watch list. What was the last watch list I have? Well, I went to the YouTube Trending Thursday test. I'm going to highlight that industry or that watch list that I created. It's going to take all of these stocks and put them in. Boom, it's done. Here's my watch list that I just created. Here's my watch list that I just created with all 11 stocks. Now, why do I need to do that when I already had the industry laid out? Well, how about this? Maybe you don't want the stocks to trade less than $1. So I can highlight those and take them out of the list. But holy smokes, there's only 2 stocks in that industry that trade more than $1. Well, I might as well leave them all in there. That's another reason why you know that this industry is speculative. Well, let's do something else. Let's at least make sure that the stocks that are in here have an average volume of at least 100,000 shares. All right, so I sorted by average volume. Well, there's 4 stocks out of the 11 that don't have an average volume of 100,000 shares. That's probably a good way to start. Let's highlight them. Let's right-click. Let's delete them. All right, so now I'm still in stocks that are less than $1, but at least every stock that I've got left in my watch list that I created actually trades higher than 100,000 shares. Folks, now this is a more usable watch list within the crypto field. Now, let's talk about what stocks would I like to hold? Well, let's go sort this by relative value. Yeah, none of the stocks in here have a relative value above 1. So that's another reason why I know it's speculative. None of these have good upside potential. Well, let's go see which ones are the safest. Well, I got no stock with a relative safety above 1. That's another reason why I know it's a speculative. Well, now let's concentrate on the stocks that are going up the fastest by sorting by RT, and there you go. So yes, I've now created a watch list that I like in a specific industry that's usable to me. At least I know all of these stocks are trading at least 100,000 shares, all right? The stock that's moving up the most by way of relative timing is blockchain, Riot. Well, let's go take a look at that graph. Let's view the stock graph. Do I like it? Ooh-wee. Holy smoke. What's the stock look like right now coming off the high? Yep. Let's see if the stock can break through that level of resistance that I just drew, that trend line. You know something, if I want to be speculative on the trade, let's see if it can break above that before I pull the trigger. Number one, if I'm in it, how about the stock pull back to 3 and the 8 are holding? The 3 and the 8 are holding. I also like that the stock is coming up off that level of a hammer. What's that now forming? That is now forming something called a wedge. All right, it's a candlestick pattern of consolidation. Look at that. I can make my, now, what am I really looking for? Let's see which way the stock is going to break before I pull the trigger. How about that? So you want me to look at crypto stocks? This is a good way to find out what the better crypto stocks are before I pull the trigger. All right, I did that once. Let's do one more. How much time is it? I'm going to do one more industry that I can show you how to tailor make specifically to you, even though I know it's a speculative industry. Let's go back to the industry viewer. What other industry do you think is speculative? How about marijuana? We saw that GRWG, right? So let's go find that one. How would I find that? Well, I know that would be under healthcare, right? Healthcare, marijuana. Look at that. What industry is it out of 221? 216. Man, this is why when everybody wants to tell me about you got to go buy these stocks because they're hot. It's a speculative industry, and unless you are a speculative trader, I wouldn't tell you to go buy into these stocks. Because as quickly as they can go up, as a speculative trader, as quickly as they can go down and smack you harder than your mama did when you was a little boy or a little girl. I'm just telling you that. That's all. I'm keeping it real. Just keep that in mind. 216th industry out of 221. How comfortable you are really investing in those stocks. These are strictly trades. But that's neither here or there. Let's build your own personalized industry watch list of marijuana stocks. All right? Let's right-click. Let's view the stocks in that industry group. Let's see how many stocks we have in marijuana. A lot of stocks. 203 stocks. Woo! That's a lot of stocks right there. All right, I'm going to move this down to all. It's probably going to take off my real-time feed. That's fine for the time being. I'm looking at all 203 stocks in that industry. So let's do this. Highlight the top one. Let's scroll all the way down. Hold my shift key. Take the last one. All 203 stocks are now highlighted. Notice I got a lot of sell stocks in here, right? Let's right-click. Let's add to a watch list. Now, this time I didn't create a watch list in this group yet, did I? Oh, well, that's all right. Right here, I can create a new watch list. Now, let's call this weed. Let's just call it weed. Right, Joey? Yeah, Joey, you got that look on your face. It says weed. Yeah. All right, so we're going to click on add, and now it's going to create that watch list right on the fly. All 203 stocks are going to go into that watch list. Click on OK. Boom. Now I've created my own watch list of weed stocks. All right, but wait a minute. Do you want to take all of the stocks that are less than $1? No, you don't. All right, or maybe you do, so you leave them in. But most people in here probably don't want to take the stocks that are less than $1. So first thing I'm going to do is sort the list by price. Okay, let's get the lowest dollar stock to the top of the list. All right, the lowest dollar stock to the top of the list out of the 203. Whew, there's a lot of cheap stocks in here. So I'm going to highlight all of the stocks that are less than $1. Let's go put this on all again. Let's go highlight. I overdid it. I highlight all of the stocks, scroll down. There's a lot of stocks in here that are less than $1. Now, for those of you who like penny stocks, maybe you take out all of the stocks that are higher than $2 or $3. Just do the reverse. There's nothing wrong with that, but still you're still building a watch list in that industry group that fits you. If you're looking for the low dollar, just do the reverse. Take all of the stocks that are higher than $2 or $3 out. All right, so I'm going to take all of the stocks, highlight all of the stocks that are lower than $1. All right, because there's the first stock that's higher than $1. Right click, delete it. I'm going to move from 203 stocks down to 34 stocks. How about that? All right, down to 34 stocks. That's huge. All right, so now I'm still using this industry, but I'm making this industry watch list germane to how I invest. Next thing I want to do, let's go back to that average volume again. So now I know all my stocks are greater than $1, but now I want to make sure that they're all over 100,000 shares traded. So I find the first stock that's under 100,000 shares traded, average volume, highlight those, take them out, delete them. So now in this industry of marijuana stocks, I'm down to 27 stocks. Folks, how cool is that? Type in the room, did any of you find that useful? And you can do that for any industry. I don't care what industry it is. Make that industry watch list germane to you. That is the power of the VectorVest software to help you make decisions on any industry you want. For everybody is out there. For everybody that's out there that is not a VectorVest subscriber, this is some of the power that you can expose yourself to even if you took the 99-cent trial. You brought this over for a reason.
Yeah, just a bunch of random comments.
Nobody found it interesting? What? Wow. All right.
No, it's saying this is, for some reason, this isn't updating.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So maybe my chat didn't update. That makes me sad. Huh?
Mine is, though.
Did they find it useful? That's all I want to know.
Very useful, absolutely, yes, love it. I've done that many times, it's pretty cool.
All right. That's mainly, again, for the people who are not subscribers to show you some of the power that you can use in building up your own watch list. And the last industry that I had was the oil, and I'm not going to go through the building that one as well, but that's, if you go look, that's one of the industries that's still low on the scale of 221. Folks, anytime you go to look to get into any stock, always check the industry. Always check the industry. That's important. All right, there's that. So now, let's go back to my other stocks of interest. That was just a little power showing of the VectorVest software. All right. Let me go here first. Here's my other stocks of interest. But three speculative industries we just talked about today as well. All right. Big story. Apple becomes the first U.S. company to reach $2 trillion. I'm loving that. Everybody in here knows that if you ask Glenn Tompkins, the best stock in the world, Glenn Tompkins is always going to say Apple. Always going to say Apple. But congratulations to Apple to being the first U.S. company to surpass $2 trillion market cap. That's huge. That's huge. All right, so thank you for that. My next story, I don't have to read much more into the story except for that. How about my do-it-yourself companies? Home Depot, Q2 2020 was a massive success. Why? I talked about that. Everybody's doing the honey-do list. How many people are doing the honey-do list? Everybody's doing the honey-do list. Everybody going, hey, my wife ain't doing the honey-do list because I'm not handy with my hands. I'm a brain guy. I'm all about the market. You want me to go build something? I ain't building it. That's what you hire people for. That's just me. So places like Home Depot, big move because a lot of people were doing a lot of projects while they were on home. Walmart, 6% after e-commerce surge leads to earnings smasher. Everybody and their mama buying from Walmart, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Amazon, whether it's online or in stores. They're making money. But this is mainly because of e-commerce. Walmart is up primarily because of e-commerce. And my last one is Target. After sizzling sales growth 2, reports comparable sales skyrocket 24% in Q2. Man. And That's all I can say. It's just, man, I got to give them applause because they're all making money, and they're making money big time. So let's talk about, do you want any of those stocks? Let's go back to my watch list for today, 8/20/20. Let's go take a look at those. All right, Apple's in there, the number one stock by VST in the list. Let's go look at Home Depot, Target, Walmart. Those were mine. Yep, those were them. All right, let's right-click, view the stock graph. Whew. This is my stock pick of the week anyway. Apple, I love, look at that. They hit $2 trillion, the stock is still running, and guess what? In September, they're going to split, right? It's trading at $471. It's going to split, giving people, what is it, 4 to 1? Is it going to go down a quarter? Yeah. It's going to give more people the ability to buy into an outstanding stock. There's nothing more. Apple is going to be a good play long term. This is a stock that I would have in my retirement portfolio. Next one, Home Depot. I like it moving up, but watch RT. When I look at Apple, I look at the stock rising. It got a dip here, but look at RT. For those people who are on podcasts, it's pretty much over the last 3 months going pretty even. With the blip that happened back in July, but even with the big July dip in RT, look at the move in the stock. It was not a big move. Smooth graph over the last 3 months. Home Depot, on the other hand, beat earnings, which was great, but watch relative timing trending lower as the stock's price is moving higher. Just keep that. Oh, it's August 24th. Thank you, Kay. I thought it was September, but it's August 20th. Man, that's 4 more days. Apple's going to split. Man, if you're not in it, or for those of you who really want to get into it, I would really consider getting into it. But still, make sure the market's moving up before you pull the trigger. Target. I like Target as well. I like Target a little bit more than I like Home Depot. Home Depot is a good-looking equity curve. I watch relative timing, whereas I look at Target. Target's relative timing is moving up. Down day to day, that's fine. One day is not a trend. The 3 and the 8 are moving up. I like it. All right. And last, Walmart, even though it beat earnings, this is the stock that I like the least out of my stocks of interest. Pulling back down, the 3 and the 8, most recently with today's activity, just pulled negative. RT is still above 1, but pulling down. Walmart is the only stock out of those that my stocks of interest that we just looked at that I like the least. If I'm looking at this going around, Apple would be my number one pick, whereas Apple would be number 1, followed by Target, followed by Home Depot, and last but not least would be Walmart. All right, so those are my stocks of interest.